Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in or listening again to this next post. Um, it's nighttime right now, and I guess that's when my brain likes to process the events of the day, which makes sense because now things are starting to wind down, and I've actually got the time to think about and sort of revisit things that have happened throughout my day. And I actually had a great conversation with a girlfriend of mine, and while we were talking, there was a stranger sort of near us who apparently was eavesdropping because he chimed in and said, "Wait, what are you guys talking about?" And then we ended up having this really great conversation. And the conversation sort of had to do with this idea of what makes Denver so special and why what I'm trying to do is a little bit easier to do here than, say, back where I'm from in Memphis. And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that there are so many people that live here who aren't from here. There's this beautifully blended society of different styles and backgrounds and ideas and what community means to different people and and then how that's bringing our little neighborhoods together and what's giving different neighborhoods of Denver their own like little vibe, their own like little subculture, which is really cool. Um, that being said, there's meetup groups for people in tech and the startup digital world. There's meetup groups for new moms. There's meetup groups for entrepreneurial women. There's meetup groups for athletes of all kinds. There's run clubs. I mean, there are so many different ways to meet people and get connected to people who share your passions in this city. And I think it's awesome because Denver really isn't that big. Denver, when you compare it to like Dallas, San Francisco, New York, Chicago, Detroit, Miami, LA, it's small. Like it's a large city, but it's by no means a sprawling metroplex like a lot of these other areas are. It's more like the size of Portland. Good city, decent sized city. Lots of people are moving there. We've got a lot of common with Portland, but not. It just has that smaller feel, that more community feel. I mean, even just 15 years ago, it was considered like a cow town, and that's not that long ago. Denver has really changed, and it's not just because of marijuana. I mean, the secret's out. Like, Colorado's awesome, but I digress. So, what this little group, me and my friend and this stranger and I got to talking about was how there are so many different people with so many different ideas that nobody really wants to say, oh, like your idea kind of sucks. It's more like, no, like, hey, go for it. And there's all this support around, what you want to do. There's a lot of support around being an entrepreneur. There's a lot of encouragement around doing your own thing and finding out what makes you tick and what you're passionate about and finding a way to be successful with that passion and bringing it to your community, bringing it to your own like little world. And that's really cool. That's rare, I think. I've been fortunate enough to visit a lot of places all over the world, and I've lived in 4 major cities and spent time in dozens of other American cities, and no city I've been in for any extended period of time really seems to foster those ideas, those ideals. Doesn't really seem to value as much the idea of just letting your freak flag fly. In Denver and definitely Boulder do that. And maybe it has something to do with the fact that there's a lot of younger people moving here. There's a lot of fresh, maybe more bold, maybe more naive, but also like just this sense of like, you know what? If I fail, I'm gonna go down fighting because this is what I care about and this is what I want to do. And And I think that sense of sort of urgency, that sense of desire, that sense of passion, that you don't just have to settle, like it's pervasive here. And I love that. Maybe that's just my friends and what we do and what we talk about. It could just be an echo chamber, but that's the community that I'm in. And that's why, one of the reasons why I felt safe, I guess you could say, and why I felt supported in starting this little venture, creating this space, because everyone that I've talked with said that it would be a great idea. I was like, maybe it is a good idea. Maybe I should just do it. And now I'm doing it. And this is what it looks like. And so go team. We'll see where it goes. I might go down in a fiery pile of crap. Who knows? But I don't think it's gonna quite do that. I think that this could be something really awesome, and I hope you do too. And one of the things that came up in the conversation had to do with this idea that out here, because everyone likes to march to the beat of their own drum and likes to figure things out for themselves, and then there's this, I don't want to say a demand, but there's like, oh, wait, like, there's just this inquisitive nature, like, wait, what did you do? Like, what are you trying? Like, people are always questioning and always asking, like, what is so-and-so doing? Like, what's working for them? Maybe that'll work for me. And there's just this constant curiosity that's sort of flowing through all these different people. And that curiosity is contagious, because so often, especially in Western culture, it's just, and especially in, well, I guess I don't want to generalize too much, but definitely in Western culture, we have become accustomed to, just tell me what to do, tell me what's wrong, tell me what medicines to take, tell me how to work out, tell me when to eat, tell me what to eat, tell me what not to eat, tell me what to drink, tell me what supplements I should take, tell me, like, we just want someone to give us a fail-proof, tried, tested, FDA-approved, guaranteed, seal of approval way of saying, this is definitely going to work for you. Newsflash, it doesn't work like that. If it did, we'd all be, perfect in our own life, in our own right. And, well, okay, we are all perfect in our own right, but that's different. What I'm saying is, there's never going to be something that works for someone else, and then you'll be able to duplicate it, and it's going to work the exact same way for you. It doesn't work like that. No two bodies are like physical. We might have the same organs and the same, same bones, same organs. That's about it. But everything else, and same hormones. So physiologically, essentially, we're all the same. But how our bodies, how our minds respond to stress, to food, to our environment, that's where we differ. And our brains, that we only really understand about like 0.5%, okay, maybe 2%. We understand very, very little of the brain. But the potential behind this fabulous thing that's in here, this untapped potential, to me, it's mind-blowing. I can't even really get into that right now. All I can really say is that what we think we know is like barely scratching the surface of what there is to know. And that's pretty cool. So I kind of lost my train of thought. Where was I going with all that? Let me see if I can backtrack a little. So this curiosity, let's go back to that, where people are just constantly trying to figure out, you know, I know what I want to do, but I don't necessarily know how I want to get there. And there's a little bit less fear here with people about, even if it takes 100 wrong turns, they eventually figure out, it's like, no, like I still, like I know this is what I want to do, but I just haven't quite figured it out yet. People are still very consistent with following their passions and figuring out a way to integrate what they love, what they know, and how to just become successful combining what they love and what they know. And that's pretty cool. Oh, so that's where I was at. So this idea that Western medicine, sorry for jumping all over the place, but it's a live video post. This idea that we were looking for a prescription, that we're looking for, you know, this and this and this. There are some things like basic guidelines, but even the basic guidelines have to be tweaked per person depending on you. I mean, it really just comes down to you doing the work. You know, you can't just accept what someone gives you and says, you know, yeah, do this 3 times a week and you're going to lose the weight that you need, or your blood pressure is going to drop, or it's like, nobody can make those promises. Nobody. I mean, it's a false sense of security. And we tend to fall into that. And I think a part of us like wants to fall into that. But we want to be secure. We want to feel safe. So we'll almost accept at too much of a face value at what we're being told, and not questioning enough, you know, our own ideas. And I think because we rely so much on the expert opinions of our doctors and our trusted friends and family, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, you absolutely should trust your doctor, and you should trust your friends, and you should trust your family. But you should trust yourself, too. Our bodies are communicating with us 24/7. We are constantly getting feedback about our environment from within ourselves, whether it's an elevated heart rate, you know, when we're nervous, or, you know, if our stomach doesn't feel good under certain types of stress, or, you know, when we eat something and we're like, oh, like that doesn't sit right. But then so often we just push it. We push away. You're like, nope, it's not there. It's gone. I don't know what happened. Poof. I don't know what's happening. And we just disconnect. And also being on our phones all the time. Like, seriously, I'm so over this. This device even, the screen. We are so, and your TV and your iPad and your Kindle and everything. I mean, we have screens in front of us all the time that are bombarding us with information that we haven't really given ourselves the chance to think for ourselves. So, part of this little experiment, social experiment, personal experiment, whatever you want to call it, I challenge you to sort of step outside your life and examine, like, if you were a fly on the wall of your own life, what would you see? Would you like what you see? What would you change? How would you change it? What would you, if you as the fly could talk to the person, yourself, that you're looking at, what would you say? If you were some sage, wise old fly, Gandalf fly, what would you say? And And I encourage you to do that with a little compassion. This isn't meant to be like a self-loathing, oh my God, I hate my life, I want to change everything, like I'm just going to go walk in front of traffic now. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if there's something that you're not really sure of, follow your intuition. Your intuition is always right. Always. Even if you don't know what your intuition is really telling you, even if you don't really know where it's trying to lead you, if you get a reaction to something, like a mental or emotional or a physical response to something, pay attention to that. That is priceless biofeedback that only you can interpret. And it takes time, just like learning language. You're having to learn the language of your own body. And that, it takes time, it takes patience, and I'm definitely still learning it. I mean, I've only been scratching the surface of this for like 6 years, which really isn't that long, but only in the last couple years have I gotten into some of these deeper ideas. And it's in these deeper ideas where it's like I feel like my head's just been like cracked open, like, whoa, wow, like that's really cool. And one of the things that really helped me start this new mindset, or that helped me create a new frame of reference for looking at things, was a book that was referred to me by a very dear friend of mine. And it's called Happier Than God, and I'm forgetting the name of the author at the moment, but just look up Happier Than God. It's a very short book, and it was very liberating. It was very freeing in the sense that I finally was reading material where I was like, yes, like I resonate with that. I appreciate what this person is trying to say. And it's not about religion, really. It's really about spirituality, and it's about you talking about you and your place in this universe on this marble, and how taking care of you helps take care of the whole world. And then letting go of the responsibility of having to take care of everyone else. I mean, that's one of the concepts. There's so many things in this book. It's really short, but there's a lot of information in there that was just kind of like, oh man, like, yes, like, thank you. Like, that was good. That felt good to read. That felt good to hear in my head. And none of it's blasphemous. None of it's, it's just, for me, it was great. And if anyone's curious, I recommend, you pick up a book or check it out from the library, or just read about it on Amazon or something, and just see if it's something that you might be interested in. Because it definitely helped me start digging deeper into some of these ideas that, about just taking care of myself and what that looked like and what I wanted it to look like, and how it made me feel like I didn't I didn't need to do a lot that was so drastically different than what I was already doing. And that felt really good, because I was like, oh, I don't, a lot of the times there's this idea that, oh, I have to change everything. It's like, where do I start? It's like, that can be really daunting, and that can create a sort of, create the sense of like, I don't want to change anything now. Like, I'm good. Like, it's too much. But it doesn't have to be. You don't have to change everything all at once. But if you can, maybe it looks like this. Maybe it looks like writing down things that you would like to see different in your life. Putting that pen to paper and and writing down, or even taking a note on your phone, like a recording, and hearing yourself say the words like, this is what I want different in my life. And once you put that out into the universe, once you express that out of your brain, that's the first shift. That's where change starts to happen, is when you finally can say, okay, I know I need to make some changes. And maybe you don't know what those changes are exactly, but you have an idea of what you want to be different in your life. And only you can make that change. Only you can express what you want to be different, because it's your life. No doctor that you're going to look at is like, well, you need to change this and this and this. It's like, only you know what needs to be different. Only you know what feels good. Only you know. It's your life. It's your body. It's your mind. And I think that's where I'm going to leave this for tonight. So until next time, I will talk to y'all later.